Hi, I'm here because I want to show you what it takes to apply to Access to Work online. And although the Access to Work scheme caters for all disability, I just want to say that this video is particularly made in relation to support with ADHD. Under the Access to Work grant, you can get funding for things like ADHD coaching, assistive technology, or even a support worker. The form is really about getting you in the queue. I would argue that it's more important to get in the queue rather than getting it perfect. So a lot of these questions will be asked again when you get to the front of the queue. So try not to overthink it, and you don't necessarily need to write so much. In order to find it, I would just Google Access to Work application. You then get the gov.uk website, and this page comes up. You press apply online. And the first question that comes up is, are you a civil servant? You answer that. In this case, we're going to say no. Then asks you about your conditions or disability. I've put ADHD in there. It's not normally pre-populated. It's because I have filled it in so that I can show you swiftly how this works. If you have any other health conditions that affect your ability to work, I would add those too. So it could be things like autism or dyslexia, as well as autoimmune disease, heart disease, etc. Then it asks you, do you want some help to get to work? We're going to say no. But if you are having issues getting to work, obviously you answer that. It can include things like sensory overwhelm in relation to public transport. As long as it relates to your disability, it should go here. Does your condition make it harder for you to do your job? Presumably, we're applying to Access to Work because it makes it harder to do your job. So when you click yes, you get this drop down here where you get to add a bit more detail. And they want to know why it's harder. So we want to, so what I put down here are areas that you could write. You can write full sentences, obviously, about this, but I would try and keep a fairly high level. Again, you get to explain more when you get to the front of the queue, and it's more important to get in the queue. But these could be things like planning and organising, time management, staying on task, procrastination, focus, overwhelm, all of those lovely ADHD things. Then it asks if you do anything to get around these problems at the moment. If you tick yes, then I would put things like using reminders on your phone maybe, or audio books. You might do therapy. Obviously answer in relation to what you are actually doing. Then it says, do you know what you need to help you with this? So if you have a good idea of what is helpful, so it could be things like body doubling or coaching, dictation, software like Grammarly, also physical things like maybe stand-up desk, but also support worker. So those are the sort of things they're looking for. When you press continue, then it asks you about your employment status. If you put employed or director of a limited company, you will get a subset of questions asking about the company name where you work, the address, how long you've been in your current role, when you started there, etc. They'll also ask if you're employed for a workplace contact, but it does say that they will not contact your employer until they've spoken to you first. In this example, we are going to put self-employed. Then it asks for your job title. I've put director. Obviously, you put your job title, and it asks how long you've been in the role, start date, and how many hours you work, how many days and hours you work. I've put 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, and then I press continue. Then it asks information about you. Obviously, you put in your personal information. This is fictitious information before anyone gets too excited. You press continue. Then it asks you about various different types of support that you may or may not receive. So you answer that. I've pressed no. Then it asks about education support. So you answer that if you get any of that. I put no. and then it asks for how you want to be, who do you want to be contacted about your condition and your application. Most people would put themselves. I've put info@adaptina.com where you can reach me. Press continue, and then you get this summary of all the answers that you've given. So do not fear. You can then, as you can see, you can change here on the side if there's anything that you want to change. I'd recommend you maybe take a screenshot of this page as well. It might be a while before you get to the front of the queue, so it might be good to remember what you've actually said. So you check all the information and then press continue, and at that point it asks you to declare and submit. Obviously I'm not going to do that, seeing this is not a real application, but hopefully that was helpful and demonstrates how straightforward it can be. Maybe set yourself 15 minutes and get it done. All the best.